Sadiq, Alishan Sharaf, who was also probably the...
Might only be 3 or 4. A lovely shuffle from Asif Sheikh and a full flourish and extension of the arms. 4 more.
We can see the elegance of Asif Sheikh.
And well, it's going to fly all the way. Monstrous hits and just a little bit of width on offer, and maybe it should have been Sadiq bowling this one rather than Mohammad Rohid.
It's very difficult to say which one was better. The first one was baited on the up. The second one
He is in the squad, and no Abanesh Bahara, who for the moment isn't in the mix, the death bowling specialist. So 2 years on, 8 of the same 11, 9 in the squad. For the UAE, it's a completely different picture. The only players retained: Mohammad Wasim, Alassane Sharafu and Junaid Sadiq. 3 of the 11. And that's actually 3 of the 11 in the squad, because Khalid Shah, the left-hander, not here. Virti Aravind not here. Asif Khan not here. Ali Nazir, probably most surprisingly, have missed a 4th. Basil Hamid was playing, so there is a 4th. Ayan Afzal Khan not in the squad. No Nalanch Keshwani. And also no Zohor Khan, who I don't think he's officially retired, but the 36-year-old hasn't been in the mix for a little bit. His country. End of the 5th, 40 for none for his country. End of the 5th, big turnover, isn't there, in terms of the playing? Big turnover, isn't there, in terms of the playing?
Laksha Anek, Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं, मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ.
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
IME Life, Balkiran Jivan Bima.
Panchakanya Bathwear, luxury made affordable.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडी यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला. यति.
But there are a few selections there that, you know, Virti Aravind was the top scorer that day. He made 64 off 51. I think the world of Ali Nazir as a cricketer. We know what Asif Khan can do. He was doing it a month ago against Pakistan and Bangladesh in the Tri-Series. Ayan Afzal Khan's probably the big surprise for me. Not just his bowling, but his batting and his fielding as well. Nalanch Keshwani probably been pushed out by Haider Ali, fair enough, and Zohor Khan maybe a little older, but yeah, so I guess it would be a very difficult squad and 11 to pick each time for the UAE, and that as a consequence makes it a bit more difficult to have that consistency. Nepal have probably much more familiarity with the playing group that are there or thereabouts. Now this goes into the pad. It looks pretty good. No, says the umpire. Now what's this missing? Was it just angling down a bit of height, Paresh?
might be slipping down the leg side.
Oh. That looked really close, didn't it? Umpire Rashid Riaz was unmoved. Maybe height and the bounce a factor. Hyder Ali was convinced. Bertel, a little lucky to get away with that one. And how often do we see that just after a chance? A little bit of punishment. Won't be the boundary that it could have been. Good diving stop keeps it to a single.
This is turning out to be a very good over by Hyder Ali. 3 dot balls in the first 3 balls and a single. This is, mind you, the last over of the power play.
Yeah, and that's where the change of approach will have to come. Wonder will Stuart Law be having a think about his order? Will he stick with Rohit Powdell? It's been a little while since we've seen such a stable start at the top. Beautiful, really elegantly played. Great execution of a difficult stroke from Asif Sheikh. Will get a boundary, just one bounce and races for 4.
Classy shot by Asif Sheikh. Again, inside out, hitting it wide off, long off. These shots are pretty hard to play.
He's at 3 beautiful boundaries now, isn't he? 2 off Rohit and that one off Ali. For me, was the pick of the bunch. Never tried to overhit, held his shape. And because you're in essence forcing against your body weight there, it's a very difficult shot to play. Can't beat the infield this time though, so misses out a little bit. Well, you wanted 40 odd for none, Paresh. It's what you've got. 45 for none the score after 6.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT
He's giving a room to the left arm orthodox and hitting him over extra cover.
So now it will be Junaid Sadiq. Maybe a recognition of the misstep from the captain, Mohamed Wazeem. He'll go with his premier bowler now in the 7th. With the exception of that LBW appeal, no real chances for the UAE, and Nepal have started to find their batting groove. Not really the case in the first 2 games.
Kushal Bhurtel very cautious. Asif Sheikh, the elegance that he has. Played very good shots over extra cover, giving himself room. The 6 that he hit off Mohammad Rohid, excellent shot.
Schedule is a tough one, isn't it, Paresh? All of these sides at some points will have to play multiple games in multiple days, or consecutive days if you will. The 3 highest ranked seeds, Nepal, the UAE and Oman, had the benefit of not having to do that during the initial group stages, but now in the Super Sixes, all 3 of them will have to do it today and tomorrow, so they're kind of getting a taste of the medicine of the other sides. So tomorrow we will see just the 2 games in action, no morning match. Oman versus UAE at 2:30 PM, and then it'll be you and I for Nepal versus Qatar, Paresh, at 7 PM. Qatar have looked like a threatening side, haven't they, throughout this competition?
They were at the good stage while playing against Oman in the other ground. They were chasing 170 odd. They were 74 for 2 in the 9th over.
They probably just let Oman get a few too many runs, didn't they? Sort of 155, 160 you felt would have been very much within their compass, but they came up about 20 runs short. We'll get you the points table at the end of this over. As that one's driven and Bertel still wants the single. Junaid Sadiq not happy. Often he has a bit of that white line fever, doesn't he, when he gets out to the playing surface. I'm not sure what the mid-off fielder could have done here.
Hit it straight by Kushal Burtel.
Really not shot as the captain as well. What could Mohamed Wasim have done to prevent that single?
Nothing.
Oh, you have to love it. Doesn't matter who the player is, even the captain. What are you doing, Wasim? Yeah, very harsh. Remember, the top 3 sides will qualify for next year in India and Sri Lanka. Definitely a little bit of extra spice on this match, just given the big rivalry between these two teams, but also the fact that it was Nepal that beat the UAE in the semi-final last time round to knock the UAE out of contention for USA. And the West Indies in 2024. There was a ruthless format, that one as well, because UAE won all their group games, lost the crucial semi-final, and with it went the World Cup dreams, which was the exact same format that Nepal suffered the fate from here at this venue back in 2021 for the 2022 World Cup.
In 2023 qualifiers, Asia qualifiers, that was, Nepal lost 1 game in the group stages against Oman and played semi-final against UAE at Mulpani and won that, and went to the final and qualified.
Yeah, and actually they lost that final, didn't they, to Oman via super over. What a game that was. Good over this one from Sadiq, and an excellent diving stop. Just finding something to work with there, the UAE. As a tight over from Sadiq keeps it to 4 runs. But Nepal will be pleased with their position. It's 49 for none.
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
As does 5, of course. 3, you'll be in a good position, particularly with a good net run rate. There are some scenarios where if two sides kind of run away with it, a whole host of others could be tied on 2 wins apiece and actually get in with 2 wins and a good net run rate. So it's a strange one. You could win 2 games and qualify, or you could win 3 games and not, depending upon exactly how all the games go. You sense that for both Japan and Samoa this evening, for them to harbour realistic top 3 ambitions, they'll need to win tonight. That's a huge game for the 2 AAP sides that are left in the competition. As Harshit Kaushik will offer the other spin option. They'll hold back the off breaks of Dhruv Parashar. Do you feel it's must-win territory for the 2 AAP teams tonight? They've both been very impressive.
Especially Japan, they've been very impressive. They played very well against Kuwait, winning that game, and they were excellent against Nepal as well. 50 is up.
They probably, for the first 12 overs of that game against Nepal, they were favourites. An amazing position, 97 for 1. It took a miraculous fight back. Nepal bowled averagely, but Japan were just excellent. Slog sweep comes out and gets a good piece and gets it all the way for 6. That's a fine shot from Kushal Bertel.
Going down on one knee, hits it in front of the square on the onside. Very still head, watching the ball hitting the bat. That is what a batsman should do.
Looks like a part-time left-arm spinner, doesn't he? We saw him a little bit in the Asia Cup and in the Tri-Series with the ball, but he's in the team for his batting. Slightly unorthodox action, almost a fraction off the wrong foot, it feels like. Bit of turn on offer. This one's given, and UAE do strike. Now, I felt as though Kushal Bertel was very fortunate to survive the earlier decision from Hyder Ali, but this one has turned. So it might have been a case of kind of 2 decisions combining for one that's given out. Bertel got the first decision going his way. This time it goes the way of UAE, and Kaushik, with that little bit of unorthodoxy, he strikes.
It was a bit slow through the air, trapped right in front. Bertel, he has to go. That's plumb in front.
Yeah, I think actually it didn't turn as much as I thought at first. It's flicked the front pad and then it's deflected off. So a very good decision, UAE. Well, they desperately needed that, but they're pumped up as a consequence. Bertel is gone for 28 of 26, and it is 56 for 1.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Dressing room. Robert Padel will come to the crease. I would have sensed a real temptation to go with a left-hander here, whether that be Kushal Malla, who plays so well against spin, or whether it be Gulshan Jha, who loves the big occasion and can thrive under pressure and is in a real hot streak of form. I think this will just allow probably the two left-arm spinners to bowl in tandem, because it's a good over despite the maximum, and a very exuberant Harshit Kaushik who fields off his own bowling. He's got the breakthrough for the UAE. Nepal have lost their first. It's 56 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार, शाइनदार घर, वर्षौं वर्ष।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
Actually, I think the head coach of Nepal, Stuart Law, wants Gulshan Jha as a role of a finisher. That is why he's coming down. I would have tempted to go with Kushal Malla, as you said, because there are two left-arm orthodox there.
Suppose the counter to that will be Dhruv Parashar probably would have come into the attack. Zahid Ali it's going to be instead to continue for his second. Oh, inside edge, good diving stop from Rahul Chopra, captain of the ODI side, remember, not the captain of the T20 team. Wickets always change things, don't they? Nepal had it all their own way for the first 6 or 7 overs, but the UAE will fight back. They'll fight back hard here.
It was an inside edge dive to his left, the keeper Rahul Chopra. A bit of a lazy looking shot by Asif Sheikh, not moving his feet.
You've got to remember the heat factor. It's 31, maybe 32 degrees today. The real feel humidity I saw yesterday was 80%. Hook shot, fielder out there, but it goes wide and high to his left. I think that's gone straight into the rope and could be given as a maximum. He got a good piece of it. Oh, it's given as a one bounce 4, very close to the rope and right in front of the Nepal team dugout. Bit of an argument between the fielder in the deep, who's claiming it was 4, and then the Nepal bench, who are saying no, it was straight into the rope and was 6. For me, I thought that hit the rope on the full. It's impossible for the umpire. He's 70 metres away. 2-run swing.
We don't have a cushion of a third umpire in this tournament, so the fielder has been moved a bit squarer now.
But I think it was the fielder who was indicating 4, whereas the Nepal dugout were saying we feel that's 6. Real point of conjecture there. If one of these sides ends up winning off the last ball by maybe, let's say they need 4 to win off the last ball instead of 6. Oh, I tell you, I know what Nepal's social media will be doing. They will be zooming in and closing up on that replay and saying, why was that not given as a 6? I don't think you can blame the umpire, because the umpire really has to take the word of whoever's out there. He's got no chance 70 metres away. We've got even less chance. We're 150 metres away. It just looked like one that cannoned straight into the rope. Given as 4 though, not as 6, as Pedal will come on to strike. And he'll get off the mark with a nicely driven single.
We actually have a cushion of a replay, but the umpires, they don't have that. They have to decide, they have to give the decision at the in the center.
Yeah, and just a reminder that the reason for that is that it's consistent across all of the pathway events. So it's not as though, let's say, the Americas final had the extra coverage and extra cameras. Every single event, whether it's the sub-regional qualifiers, whether it's Cricket World Cup Challenge League in the 50-over format, whether it's a women's sub-regional or women's global qualifier event final, they won't have that ability to go to the third umpire. Pulled nicely into the gap, but no real timing. Should easily get a couple here. It's a slightly shorter side today. And that consistency then has to be applied across the board. So obviously no DRS, because you need Hawkeye in place for that, and an additional probably 10 more cameras than we're working with here. But also no line decision. Sometimes you get, on slightly enhanced broadcasts, you get stumpings and runouts and boundary checks and fair catch checks, but not full DRS with the Hawkeye. We don't have either. And I know we sometimes get some questions as to why not. There has to be a consistency across the pathway events. And that's the way it is. And a reminder, of course, that we're only 4 years into this style of coverage. Only you need to go back 5, 6, 7 years where you might have struggled to get a scorecard for some of these games. So hundreds and hundreds of matches live and free on ICC TV, and great to be here with you for them. 9 have been bowled at 65 for 1.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला, तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
3 overs. I think it was 2 from Rahid and 1 from Sadiq that only went for 11. Sheikh hits it just shy of Mohammad Wasim, whose fielding is in a different stratosphere to where it was when his career started. He's told me just how hard he's been working in the gym, and he's always had good hands, but his movement now is significantly enhanced, even on a hot day like today. That was a good stop. But that death bowling, do you see a disparity in the quality between the two sides? It's always been a bit of a problem for Nepal.
It has been after Dipender Singh Airi started bowling in the death overs. One end problem has been solved, but not from the other end. Karan Keshi would have bowled in the death overs. Now it's all about Nandan Yadav, who can come and bowl in the death overs, mixing his pace.
Worked into the leg side. Now they might think of a second here. Interesting that Sheikh didn't want it. Possibly just showing a little bit of fatigue, Paresh. Because that was the perfect kind of weight to a stroke to get back for the second, and a good angle to go with it. Credit to Dhruv Parashar, who ran in very ably. But I thought there was 2 there. Real feel, Paresh, your app is brilliant. You've got to tell me what app that is. 37 degrees. Is that the humidity again that is spiking up? Humidity 73%. Temperature 31, but real feel up 37, 38. It will ease off as we get towards the second innings. Would that have been the smallest of factors when Rohit Paudel decided to bat first?
It might be. And the players, the openers, they have justified the decision by Rohit Paudel to bat first. Opening stand of 50 runs.
Helped round the corner, not the right line from Kaushik. And going to be a chase all the way down to the rope in vain for Rohit. That's just a nice little tickle round the corner. It's something that Rohit Paudel maybe does better than anyone in the associate game. He uses the pace from the spinners on the offside and on the leg. He's all about deflections and little contortions with the bat. Very, very clever. And 4 more runs to the total.
The bottom hand comes a bit slightly out of the bat, and he works with his top hand. Either side of the wicket, the late cuts that he plays.
again, this time it's hit better, so there's no chance of two, so they'll just jog through for the one. It's been a fascinating 10 overs. Every single Associate El Clasico always has its ebbs and its flows and its moments for both sides. I think maybe Nepal just fractionally the happier of the two teams because they have 9 wickets in hand, but they'll also look like they'll want to get that run rate moving more swiftly in the second innings. We'll have a much needed break here in the commentary box. The players need the drinks even more than us. With the score after 10 overs, Nepal 73 for 1. Don't go anywhere too far. Back in 5 minutes time.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
मम्मीले त्यसरी भने हैन अरु चीज बस हैन 2 PM चीज मात्र ल्याउन बिर्स्यौ
यो क्या यो है त 2 PM चीज बस
रेड बुल प्रेजेन्ट्स T20 वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स नेपालको विश्वकप यात्रा पावर्ड बाय ज्ञान एक्स्ट्रा लङ रेन बासमती राइस बजाज पल्सर एन्ड गजबको पिरो नुडल्स
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
एसियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह। हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
एसियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम
Instead of 6, if you do want to get in touch, use that hashtag please, T20 World Cup. That's what we're playing for. 3 places at that T20 World Cup in February and March next year, co-hosted by India and Sri Lanka. And I can already see the, I'm going to call them biblical scenes if Nepal were to qualify and play in India. Now obviously the group placements and seedings and all of that will have to wait to be announced. I'd expect the ICC to announce those pretty swiftly after this final qualifier. We know 17 of the 20 teams that have qualified, as they will take on the second this time. Good running from Asif Sheikh. Maybe just an instruction from Stuart Law, who we saw out with the batters, that let's start to get moving. We've 9 wickets in hand. The reason it would be biblical, there would be tens, if not hundreds of thousands of Nepali people who would come across the border and try to be a part of the most amazing journey for their team.
It will be a very good thing for Nepal if Nepal qualifies for the 2026 T20 World Cup. We don't even need a visa to go to India.
It's a very porous border, isn't it? They call it one of the most porous in the world. There's a lot of kind of exchange between the two countries, very friendly relations, of course. Are you guaranteeing every game is a sellout, Paresh, for the Nepal, the 4 group games they would play?
Well, I still don't know about that, but you can make sure that many Nepalis will be in the stadium if Nepal qualifies.
I'll do it for you, Paresh. I promise you, if Nepal play their 4 group games in any part of India, well, imagine if it was Dharamshala or if up in Delhi, especially so, but wherever they are in India, I think we will see a sea of blue and red if they qualify. A lot of cricket to be played to get there. And I'll tell you something, I've been so impressed with the likes of Japan and Qatar. I know Qatar are in a difficult position now with, in essence, 2 losses in the Super 6. Oh, inside edge and a bit of fortune for Asif Sheikh there. That could have gone anywhere. And also, don't rule out Samoa, but I think if there was one to upset the apple cart, it might be the winner of tonight's contest. The 3 highest ranked sides are the 3 favourites because they carried 2 points through. Here's the inside edge. Do you think you've sat on the fence a bit, but you said those 3 teams are the likely 3 qualifiers?
Yes, that is why they've carried 2 points with them in the Super 6s. The top 3 teams with high ranking rather than the 3 teams with low ranking. Tucked away on the leg side by Rohit Bordel. And talking about Asif Sheikh, the last shot, the inside edge, again, lack of feet movement.
I think there's a fatigue factor. I know he's trying to absolutely, very fit young man like so many of this Nepal squad, but he's trying to get his feet moving, but it just, when you're in this humidity, it's like your legs are sort of stuck in jelly almost. I finally got back on the treadmill after seeing a few photos of myself in that shirt the other night. So when I was in the gym last night, oh God, it was like legs in jelly, I promise you that. It's not easy, and that was in the air conditioning. Inside edge. Yeah, Sheikh just going through a difficult patch here. This game is hanging in the balance, isn't it? Nepal aren't by any stretch in a comfortable enough position at the end of the 11th, 79 for 1, that they would feel as though they're ahead of the game. They'd be pleased with what they've done thus far, but the last 9 overs are critical.
They are.
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
Panchakanya bathware, luxury made affordable.
Big 2 overs these. Hit 2 well, so will only be the single. Again, Powell's pushing for the second. Sheikh is just starting to show signs of fatigue, understandably. You have to assess the match, don't you? You have to recognise you have 9 wickets in hand.
And talking about the fatigue, it's very, very warm out there. Diving effort there by the fielder at backward point. Dot ball. It's about Rohit Patel, what he does very swiftly. He plays the ball very late with very soft hands, and whenever he tries to hit hard, he uses his bottom hand.
Speared in this time. The boundaries have dried up a touch, haven't they? And for Nepal, they need to assess when to take risk from here, with those 9 wickets in hand, with the assets that they have to come. And if I was Stuart Law, I would be getting Gulshan Jha with the pads on.
Yeah, get 2 left-handers ready to come in.
I think you should have all options in terms of who could come in next. Other option, of course, is to say to Mala, spinners are bowling, go at it. Remember, Dhruv Parashar hasn't bowled a ball yet because there's 2 right-handers at the crease and has been throughout the innings.
Even if you talk about matchups, a left-hander batsman coming in and cut away into the gap. They are running hard, but it's not going to be the second run. Talking about the off-spinners bowling to left-handers, Kushal Malla White fancies his chances against the off-spinner as well.
Yeah, no, I think sacrificial lamb is the incorrect term, but I would send Malla in with a license to explode. Say, look, if you get caught at long on, so be it. We still have lots of wickets in hand. But what Malla has is an X factor. 12 have been bowled, 83 for 1. that's why I thought his return to the squad was so important. Just the 3 off the over. Hyder Ali continues to be, 4 off it, really impressive. But I would be probably revving Mal.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
स्वदेश तथा विदेशमा आर्जन गर्ने शिक्षाको सम्पूर्ण खर्चको जिम्मेवारी लिन्छ आइएमई लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्सले।
आइएमई लाइफ बाल किरण जीवन बीमा योजना।
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Pads on, just the sub fielders, the 4 with the yellow vests on, out in the sun. As Rowan Powdell looks for that scoop shot, doesn't get anything on it. He's got 13 off 13. The runs are drying up here. UAE will be quietly quite satisfied with the last 3 or 4 overs.
Yeah, the last over, just 4 runs coming off Hyder Ali's ball. Over, that was the 12th over. It's Ali who's bowling his 3rd. A touch expensive, but first ball of this over is a dot ball. Rohit Pollard trying a ramp shot, but wasn't able to do so.
Yeah, thanks to our team for finding that. It's just Kushal Patel out there. I think it might be Sandeep Jura on his left. Is it behind the pole without the pads on? So that might indicate that those inside the dressing room will probably be Mala and Ja with the pads on. And yeah, you can see Kushal Patel just talking there to Gyanendra Mala. Can't quite make out who's behind the pole. Is it Sandeep Jura? I think it might be, is it?
I think it's Sandeep Jura, but he hasn't has his pads on.
Well, he's not going to be in next then, is he? At number 4. So, yeah, slightly concerning period of play for Nepal. And probably some discussions going on. Of course, Nick Pothas is here alongside Stuart Law, the head coach, who's done such a good job since coming in. The runs have really dried up here. And if you just look at the last 4 or 5 overs, they've gone for 8, 6, 4, and now this one's only gone for 2. There was 1 boundary in the 10th, and then the maximum just before Kushal Patel got out. But really, the big overs have dried up.
Rohit Pollard, he has to take calculative risks now. I overheard Nick saying to Kushal Malla, today is the day, today is your day.
Today is his day. And yet, he's often one that comes in for a little criticism from the Nepal fans because he has a occasional glut of low scores. This one's chipped in the air and Powdell not finding any fluency. Wasim fields athletically. The direct hit, though, is going to allow a second. Skipper probably should have held on to that. It was a very flamboyant piece of fielding and marvellous, and he says, yes, sorry, probably just as well it wasn't Junaid Siddique, the bowler.
Just chipped in front towards Minon.
The reaction
Very
as well.
Between the wickets, these two.
Great awareness, yeah, but just the reaction from Wasim as he threw it, said, oh no, what have I done? I think even the captain is relieved that Junaid Siddique wasn't bowling there because he would have got a spray from his big fast bowler. Just saw there as well the square leg umpire, because of the sun which is so low, he's actually at point, and that makes a lot of sense for Rashid Riaz. Again, Nepal just happy to nudge it around. They will get the second this time. Throw goes to the non-striker's end. A little bit of frustration from UAE in the field and a few hands on hips out there. Neither side is ahead of the game here. These are very nervy moments, nervy exchanges in this big Associate El Clasico clash.
The strike rate of Asif Sheikh is just dropping a bit. Good running between the wickets between these two. Very fit guys, these Nepali players. You can see Dipendra Singh Airi, Rohit Pollard, Kushal Patel, Asif Sheikh, Gulshan Jha. Sompal Khami is also so fit.
Nicely worked again. I think there's 2 more here because it's perfectly placed. So even if the boundaries aren't coming, at least there's some good intent in between the wickets, and they've managed to find a way to get 8 off that over. Big 7 overs remain here in Muscat. It's 91 for 1.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
मम्मीले त्यसरी भने हैन अरु चीज बस हैन 2 PM चीज मात्र ल्याउ न बिर्स्यौ
यो क्या यो है त 2 PM चीज बस
They thinking. Usually do get in that question. Quite often the captain, if you do ask them that, will say, we'll assess it as we go. They rarely give you a number, or if they give you a number, it can be miles off what they're actually thinking. Dhruv Parashar will come into the attack for the first time. It does bowl off breaks, but has the ability to kind of take that little carom ball away. He's someone who's been very impressive. Again, another one of that incredible Emirati development system. Andy Russell and all the team at UAE Cricket have done a phenomenal job through all 7 of the Emirates. Slashed away behind square on the offside, should get a couple again. They've also, it's not just the ILT20, but the development league that sits underneath that. We've seen it's Jonathan Figgy who's forced his way back in through that. I think 450s consecutively he made in that competition. They have the world-class facilities. Okay, in the summer it's probably too hot, but in the winter they've got the most perfect cricketing climate. And yeah, in many ways they've got so many things going for them. Sometimes they underperform. You could argue they shouldn't be bottom of the table in Cricket World Cup League 2, for example. Good diving stop there from Kaushik. Keeps it to a dot. But there's no doubt the production line of local talent born and bred in the UAE in the last 5 or 6 years has been really impressive.
The facilities in UAE are very, very good. Just didn't release the ball in that occasion by Parashar. And talk about facilities, there's Sharjah Cricket Stadium, the ICC Academy, Dubai Sports City Stadium, even Abu Dhabi. We have plenty of cricket grounds there.
You up at the 7s as well, which is a little bit out. You've got to go quite a bit inland from the sort of fancy sites of the marina and Business Bay and the like, probably 40 minutes into the desert. Phenomenal facilities out there. Plenty of English counties go across and use those for pre-season. Up in Ajman there's a really good cricket ground being developed. Plenty of facilities there. Good over this, and just pressure building up in a big way on Asif Sheikh. He's hit a lull in his innings and he can't get it away. He's got to get on with it or get out here. They're the 2 options for Asif Sheikh.
Yes, still 9 wickets remain. This is the 14th over, the last ball of the 14th over. He has to get on with the game. He's on 44 of 40.
Tries the big shots and just is going to get the nearly full maximum reward, but a sensational stop. Basil Hamid might have done himself a nuisance. He's definitely saved 6. He saves 4 runs in total, but he looks in real agony. Concerning scenes. I just wonder, is he going to be okay? He immediately went down. The doctor is sprinting across the outfield. A heroic effort from him. Looked like it was 6 all the way, didn't it? And what a stop this is. Sensational. And let's just hope he hasn't done himself such a nuisance. He looks in Paresh, really concerning scenes. He's in the best possible hands of Dr. Manish, the long-standing team doctor for the UAE. But the reaction was a dislocated shoulder. That was my initial instinct. Trying to get a bit of movement into it. Let's hope it's only jarred. They can be the same feeling. A jarred shoulder you can recover from immediately. A dislocated one, you're in real trouble. But what a stop.
It was a definitely good effort by Hamid.
Anek Energy 8. Energy भनेकै Red Bull.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
Panchakanya Bathware, luxury made affordable.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
As well, concerning scenes for the UAE. Remember, that was not a head injury, so he would not be allowed a concussion replacement. There is a potential, unless Hamid can recover, that, oh, good to see him up. That's great news. It's actually his right shoulder, so it might have been the landing. Swing and a miss as Mohamed Rohid comes into the attack. Let's hope he can bat. Let's hope, more importantly, he's okay. And at least he's up on his feet. I think it's the left hand he stopped it with, but then he's landed heavily on the right shoulder.
Look at the replay here. Excellent stop. And yes, the shoulder was given weight, the whole body weight went down on his right shoulder.
You'd be concerned with the way he's holding that. Concerned with the way he's holding that arm, if that makes sense. It looks a nasty injury. Road pedal, straights along on, finds the man. And a disappointing innings for the skipper, could never really quite get going. He's going to have to go for 20. Easiest of catches held by the subfielder who's just come on. Mohamed Farouk. Powell's got to go. Nepal maybe just in a spot of bother. Can't get the run rate moving the way they would like. UAE fighting back. Rohit strikes.
It was a short ball, gave himself room, but straight to long on. Rohit Paudel had to go because they are not scoring runs. The boundary was drying up. He had to go. Again gets out on 20s of 19 ball. Just a 4 in this innings. Just a single 4 for him.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
साउजी
नयाँ चीज बल साखा छ, चाख्ने हैन?
यो चीज बल हैन, 2 PM चीज बल दिन न साउजी।
This one?
Yes.
Take it. 2 PM cheese balls.
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
They continue at this rate, they're only going to end up with 130 or 140, which they'll need to bowl and field exceptionally well to defend. Big final 5 overs after this one coming up. Can Mala make an impact in the tournament for the first time?
Identifying Kushal Malla is on strike. Rohit bowls a short ball into the body.
Great comeback from Rohid because he was, well, treated with a bit of disdain. The only benefit for the Nepal side, I know Junaid Siddique has plenty of overs left, but he's got 2, so he'll probably bowl 18 and 20. But Rohid will be bowled out after this over, so there will be maybe 3 overs to target from the final 5. Mala gets off the mark, just punches that one down the ground. What will the discussion have been from Stuart Law, Nick Pothas, Skynendra Malla to Kushal Malla, the youngster? What will they have said to him going out there? Play with complete freedom, look for the boundaries from the off?
That is what the case should have been. The 3 support staff, the head coach, the batting consultant and the assistant coach Gyanendra Malla, they must have given freedom to Kushal Malla to go and hit the ball.
Big appeal. Has this pitched in line is the question, and I think no is the answer. Asif Sheikh's lull continues. Let's get another look here. Oh, it pitched a long way outside the leg stump. It's going to smash into middle. Doesn't matter a bit.
This is excellent bowling by Mohammad Rohid. Got a wicket of Paudel, the captain of Nepal. Now bowling dot balls. Only a single run coming off this over, the 15th.
His first 2 overs went for 20. Incredible to think of the comeback since then. It shows how much T20 can change. Great skills from the left armour. And he's going to finish with the superb figures of 1 for 28. I think the UAE are on top with 5 to go. Nepal need to change something. Despite having 8 wickets in hand, the men from the Himalayas are in a spot of bother. It is 97 for 2.
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स। नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन। यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
मम्मीले त्यस्तरी भने हैन अरु चीज बस हैन 2 PM चीज बस मात्र ल्याउ न बिर्स्यौ
यो क्या यो है त 2 PM चीज बस.
They're in a spot of bother here, the Rhinos. Not able to capitalise upon that excellent opening partnership, Paresh.
Yeah, it all started in the middle overs where, because of the heat, we think that Asif Sheikh was a bit down. But they were taking 2 runs, Rohit Podel and Asif Sheikh.
Yeah, and there's many ways to, probably not the greatest expression, many ways to skin a cat, isn't there, in terms of you can do it in multiple manners, getting 8 or 9 runs per over. You don't need to get 4s and 6s if you run well between the wickets. Kushal Malla may well take on the spinner, but as a consequence Parisher just darts it in and is happy to keep him to a single. 10 and over from here would get them to in and around 150. It's probably what they need, Paresh.
They need minimum of 150 just to have a game out of it, because you very well know how Mohammad Wasim is in a very good nick. And it's that if Wasim scores runs,
cut away. Now this is a nice looking shot and it should be good enough to get 50 for Asif Sheikh. He gets to the landmark, good piece of footwork in the deep, keeps it to just 2. It's come off 45 deliveries. He's played elegantly as always. Remember, he was the one who made the not out 50 in the semi-final between these two sides 2 years ago. No real acknowledgement to the landmark, but it is a 9th T20I 50 to go alongside 13 ODI 50s, and his highest score in his career, 68. He'll want to go past that today. Needs to get on with it, doesn't he?
that is why he's giving himself room, trying to play over extra cover over Mohammad Wasim's head.
I think quietly Mohammad Wasim has captained this innings beautifully. He's putting on a bit of a masterclass, a clinic in how to captain when not taking wickets but restrict the opposition and put them under pressure. Something's got to give here between the two sides. Clever bowling again, not an ounce of flight for Kushal Malla to work with over his favourite zone of long on.
Bowling it outside the off stump, bit flatter, not giving the air, not bowling in the zone of Kushal Malla that he can hit across the line.
Have to remember they've got a red hot Gulshan Jah chomping at the bit to get out there. Big appeal and no need for it because it's cannon into middle stump. Asif Sheikh could just never quite get going. It is that little carom ball, I think, maybe just held in the surface a touch. He did get 50, a 9th T20 International 50, goes past 1500 T20I runs in the process. He's played nicely, but surely it's got to be Kushal Malla to the crease now. Very good bowling.
Just missed the ball completely. I think it hit the back thigh and went into rattle the stumps.
Yeah, and I think that's why he was appealing. He thought that it might have been plum LBW, which it would have been, but you don't need to appeal for the LBW when it flicks the pad. So at the end of Asif Sheikh's innings, he gets a warm round of applause from his teammates going off.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC.
The fifth ever international cricketer to hit 6 consecutive sixes in the same over. Here against Qatar last year in the ACC Premier. It's going to be all about whether he can get going quickly. Big over this one. Hyder Ali to Kushal Malla. Malla's got to go downtown. He's got to go big. And Nepal have got to get themselves into this contest. Really good knowledge. It's cut away though. And goes very close to the rope. Another good diving stop. Just quietly, UAE's fielding's been impressive. That's 2 more runs saved.
From the start, they've been feeling very good. UAE fielders, again bowling outside the line of off stump, not giving air, not bowling in that zone where Kushal Malla can just step on one knee and play across the line. That is his favorite shot, down to mid wicket or long on.
Speared in down the leg side. That's going to help. Take every run they can get now. 3 freebies. Irie wants to turn it into 4. It'll be 3 wides. Mala's got to take a risk here, doesn't he? He's got to find a way to pump him downtown.
Drifting his line. He was trying to bowl a block hole, Hyder Ali, but going towards the leg stump. Freebies for Nepal.
And the Nepal fans are chanting and making as much noise as they can just to try and get their team going. They know they're behind the 8 ball. Just a single again. Good bowling from Ali. They've given no flights at all to Malla. They know their opponents here, the UAE.
Still 7 wickets remaining for Nepal. Gulshan Shah yet to come. Sundeep Zora yet to come. He played that fantastic innings against West Indies in Sharjah.
Good little crowd building up all of a sudden. We've managed to find a way in. There's been a few bits of pleading with the bosses. Please, boss, I need to leave. As Irie goes through the offside, just a single. Those singles at the moment not really hurting the UAE. This has to be the matchup, doesn't it? Even if Malla's going to need to dance down the track, he's got to find a way to show that power that he possesses.
Hyder Ali is not giving that air to the ball, so that Malla coming down the track is not a possibility. Just staying there.
Well bowled this time into the block hole, so not able to get underneath it or find the elevation that he would like. Every over without a boundary for the UAE at this late stage is a win for them.
8 runs coming off the first 4 balls of this over. They have to make it count, the remaining 2 balls. Dipender Singh Irie and Kushal Malla.
Now Irie looks for the big one, but it's straight to Mohammad Wasim, and Hyder Ali, well, he is pumped up in a big way. Big celebration. Nothing from his teammates. He was giving it the big one, leaping into the air like David Warner. And the catch taken with the minimum of fuss. Irie's 6 hitting exploits at this venue aren't on show today. And the majority of the second half of this innings has belonged to the men from UAE. They've been excellent.
Didn't get a good piece of it. Got the inner part of the bat. Simplest of catches for Mohammad Wasim. He could take that kind of a catch with eyes closed.
Irie's got to go for 1. It's 111 for 4.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
बेबे, यो चीज बल लगौँ न है?
हे, यो चीज बल छैन। 2 PM चीज बल हो के?
यो भन्नुभयो के वाले 2 PM चीज बल्स। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडी यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
He'll face up to Hyder Ali. And is unable to get off the mark because it's speared in. Great figures. We called Hyder Ali out as one to watch. He's a real find for the UAE. He's helped put the Emiratis on top. 1-1-1 for 4.
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं, मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
Gigantic final 3 overs in the context of Nepal's campaign, in the context of UAE's campaign, and both sides' hopes of going back to the T20 World Cup. It'll be Junaid Sadiq with all his death bowling quality to bowl 18 and 20. And he beats Kushal Malla outside the off stump. UAE's last 7 overs have been exceptional. Nepal have been found wanting.
Kushal Malla beaten outside the off stump. The ball just moving away from the left-hander after pitching. How often do we see that a wicket falling at the score of Nelson?
Yeah, often David Shepherd was the one. Great former English umpire. We lost another legend of the game, Dickie Bird, quite recently. Always superstitious. As Malla chips that one down the ground. Now, Ja has a phenomenal record this tournament and a great record against the UAE. Maybe most famously that game on March 16th back in 2023 that you and I and anyone connected to associate cricket will probably never forget. He hit 20 off an over of Mohammad Wazeem, but it's an altogether different prospect against Junaid Sadiq.
It is a very smart bowler, Junaid Sadiq. We can see that he's moving the ball after pitching. That is lateral movement for him. Kushal Malla not getting the ball. Very good connection.
Ja chips it down the ground. He's hit it pretty well, and he may have it well enough to get to the rope. Yes, that has hit into the rope, and it's another injury, it looks like. Landing on the rope, getting himself into a spot of bother, and Gulshan Ja is at it again.
The middle fielder was inside the circle, Mohammad Wazeem. That's why it resulted a boundary. Good effort by the fielder there, but I think he's rubbed his tummy on top of the rope.
I think it's the shoulder again, and it's Alishan Sharafu. More concern for the UAE, and again Dr. Manish he's having a hair across the turf. He's dived full length. I think what's happened there is he's landed with his right shoulder on top of the rope. I hope that one is just going to be a bruise and a bit of a jarring and not some kind of dislocation, but we'll have a second subfielder on, no doubt about that.
Excellent effort by Sharafu. He gets his right shoulder on top of the rope and bangs it. Let's hope that he's okay. The umpire just sending off the medical staff.
12th player for Nepal is trying to find their voice. It's actually a lovely interaction between Rohit Paudel and Mohammad Wazeem, who are, yes, rival captains, but very good friends off the field and with a huge amount of respect for each other. Two great leaders, two of the finest associate captains, you'd have to say. And Mohammad Wazeem looked up to the media sent to the grandstand here and said, "No 12th player today for you," because they hadn't come in yet. And he goes, "Oh, I think there'll be a few along later." And he goes, "Maybe not as many as the other day." Understandably, again, of course, because of the fact it's the first day of the working week. But this is the first time they've really found their voice, because one of their real favourites, he's an absolute fan favourite. You can understand why. Gulshan Ja is in. He's got his first boundary. What can he do with the 15 remaining deliveries? Can he get this Nepal innings moving? Carted away into the offside. He's at it again. Gulshan Ja is playing the best cricket of his life. I have no idea how he's got that all the way for 6. He's picked the slower ball and stood there and simply devastated it over the offside. Outstanding batting.
Bottom hand coming into play, sliced it over the infield on the offside.
How's he got that for 6?
Is because of the bottom hand coming into play.
Extraordinary shot.
If you remember, he hit 1-6 against West Indies.
Yeah, similar, wasn't it? It's a good shout in the Indy Cup. Bit of pressure now on Sadiq. Pressure on UAE maybe for the first time. Goes through the offside again. Gets a good piece of it again. Gets 4 more. Shades of that over against Mohammad Wasim. Back at the TU. And it's got the Nepal fans dancing up in the crowd. They have just one player they love more than anyone right now. It's the young Gulshan Jah.
Again giving himself room, playing towards extra cover into the gap. Placement was excellent by Gulshan Jah. 3 boundaries on a trot, 4, 6 and a 4.
Well, he made 20 off 5, didn't he, against Kuwait, that completely changed the game. He's got 14 off 4 here. It's the hardest art in the modern game. Coming to the crease, Tim David does it so brilliantly for Australia. Every single franchise, every single international team wants a player who can come in and score immediately. Jazz doing it yet again for Nepal here. Full toss, heaved into the leg side, could be taken, is. And Junaid Sadiq strikes back. Big moment in the game. And Gulshan Jazz asking for a no ball. We're asking, there's something maybe just happened after the dismissal. Whether there was a word or some contact between the two. Jazz not happy. It was short and it's sweet and he's gone now.
It was a good catch by the fielder at deep mid-wicket. Sliding to his front. Send off by the fielder as well.
Just wonder what's happened here. I don't know if we have the replay of after the ball. Junaid Sadiq has now been given a real talking to by Rashid Riaz. Whether it was a word or whether there was some contact, I don't know. He's only lasted 5 balls, but he's had an impact with that 4-6-4 burst, much more like what Nepal needed. But Junaid Sadiq has the last laugh. Jazz gone for 14, 126 for 5.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ जोशको उत्साहको मेहनतको लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1
Deep Jura. Mala's got to find a way to get in on the act now. Helps this round the corner. No timing though, but will pick up a couple. Hasn't really got anything going yet, Kushal Malla.
It was a pace off, hitting the deck by Ali. Good change of pace. That is why Malla didn't time it as well as he'd liked. Only 2 runs off the first ball off the penultimate over.
Big 11 balls this. Malla needs to find some boundaries. Ideally, for Nepal, he needs to clear the ropes a couple of times. Oh, good bowling, and it's a little feather of an outside edge. It's going to be the end of Malla. Big celebration for Zahid Ali. I think it was a slower ball, an off-cutter. Excellent catch from Rahul Chopra. And Mala's got to trudge off for a 3rd low score. He's gone for 10.
Rahul Chopra has been very good behind the stumps. Slower ball off cutter. There was a bit of turn as well. That is why it took the edge of Kushal Malla.
Nepal have got themselves in a tangle. They've lost 2 in the course of just 3 deliveries. Jah, the big one, and now Malla rather forlornly has to walk back. He's gone for 10.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Again, it's that off-cutter, worked into the offside. Kami, well, Jora wanted the second. Kami sends him back, probably rightly so.
The fielder was very quick to the ball. Sompal Kami opening his account on the first ball that is faced. That was exceptionally good bowling by Ali, the off-cutter. The ball turning like an off-spinner, getting the edge of Kushal Malla.
Yeah, maybe a few signs for Nepal's bowlers, particularly their spinners, that they'll have some joy in the second innings, but for now it's all about these 9 balls. Actually, Jora's first delivery he's faced all the way into the 19th over here. Slower ball, pumped down the ground. Kami should get back for the second and will comfortably with the fumble out at long off. Do you think it's been a misstep, almost placing too much onto the shoulders of Gulshan Jha with his form, getting him to the crease so late, Paresh?
That is what we thought. Gulshan Jha will be sent as a finisher. That is what he did. Scored 4, 6 and a 4. And it was a full toss that he got out to.
I think for me, he's such a good player. He needs to be thought about as more than just a finisher. Yorker attempted and pretty much nailed. Kami thinks of the second, but it's the shorter side of the ground, so it'll just be 1. Credit to the UAE, their fielding, I know potentially it will be quite costly in terms of 2 bodies that could have significant injuries there with Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharafi, but their fielding's been very good, and in general their bowling execution exceptional.
The effort the fielders have shown, 2 injuries, 2 shoulder injuries for UAE players. Hope they come to bat.
I think Nepal will be looking at it and thinking, if we get Wasim early, we're right in the game. If we don't, we're in trouble. Into the offside. Very elegant batter for someone who's as low down the order as he is, Sompal Kami. Technically ever so correct, the all-rounder. He'll have an important role to play with the new ball too. 19 bowled, 133 for 6.
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
बेबे, यो चीज बल लगाउँ न है?
हे, यो चीज बल छैन। 2 PM चीज बल हो के?
यो भन्नुभयो के वाले
2 PM चीज बल्स। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेटको शहंस।
Into the block hole, and given it's an inside edge taken by Chopra, who I don't think he was certain about the inside edge because he tried to affect the stumping. And there's been a bit of carry on now. We did see the decision given out. Kami is staying there for the moment, and now Rashid Riaz is saying not out because of a combination of whether it's the keeper himself or maybe the square leg umpire possibly saying that the catch wasn't held. I think the end result is going to be 1 run, and this will make for a fascinating replay.
The keeper Rahul Chopra, he just had a shy at the stumps after taking the ball. That indicates that the catch hasn't been carried.
Well, exactly. That's what you would have thought. So let's have a look. It is an inside edge. Held it at first and then dropped it clearly. So great spirit of cricket from Rahul Chopra. So you feel a bit here for umpire Rashid Riaz, because he's been right in terms of the fact that the inside edge was affected. But then what's happened is Chopra's gone so quickly to his left, taking the catch at first, then it bobbles out, hits the turf. Jora runs through for the single. They're appealing, it's given out, and then the throw comes to the non-striker's end. I think at that point the single is going to count. They end up trying to run him out as well at the non-striker's end. Chaos reigns, and I think a bit of common sense a good spirit of cricket, both from Rahul Chopra, Mohammad Waseem on show. They say, okay, we understand the catch has gone down, we're happy with the single being given, and Rahul Chopra reverses his decision and it ends up as a single, bringing Joran to strike. All happening in Muscat. Helped into the leg side. Those low full tosses from Sadiq's pace have proven effective, getting the wicket of Gulshan Jan. Batter's not able to get it away.
This is excellent bowling by Junaid Siddique. Bowling those low full tosses, it's very hard for a batsman to clear the boundaries with those. Excellent last over. Only 2 singles of the first 2 balls. 4 balls remaining. Nepal 135 for 6.
Going very deep in his crease. Look at that. Has to be careful. That's why he's a little bit outside off as well. He's anticipating the full length delivery from Sadiq, trying to get underneath it. Instead he goes to the cutter. It's helped away over the offside. Should get a couple. Good game of cat and mouse between the batter and bowler. Kami reacts quite nicely. No boundaries coming though. And this is going to be a below par total for Nepal, Paresh, we feel.
Waseem will take this. No boundaries in the last over. Only a couple in the last ball. 4 runs coming off the first 3 balls. They need to look for boundaries. They need to get boundaries. Sompal Kami in particular in the strike.
3 balls left. Brilliant bowling. It's an in-swinging Yorker. All Kami can do is dig it out. 1 more single to the total. It's such a huge game, this, not just because they're rivals, Paresh, but the winner of this will feel as though they almost have 1 step onto the drawbridge of the plane to head to India and Sri Lanka. The loser is looking at the remaining fixtures and going, we probably can't make another mistake.
Very true, Lenny. The 2 teams carrying 2 points into the Super Sixes. This is an excellent over by Junaid Siddique.
Brilliant skills from the big fast bowler. Goes short, goes wide. Oh, gets away with it. Side on replay will be interesting here. He wanted the wide. It's given as a bye instead. Was that too short, Paresh? I'm not talking about a wide on width. I think it was inside the guideline, but did look quite short, and Jora is short in stature.
This is good variation by Junaid Siddique. That's fine.
Great umpiring. That's why he's down there. That's why I'm up here. Exceptional. Yeah, really good umpiring from umpire Mucko. Correctly given as the bye. Brilliant Yorker. Going to miss the leg stump, but it's been a showcase in death bowling of the highest quality from Junaid Siddique. Nepal will have to be satisfied with an even 140. They won't get any more. And they probably don't deserve any more because the UAE have been exceptional. The big concerns for them are those 2 shoulder injuries to Basil Hamid and Alishan Sharafu, both top order batters. We're not sure whether or not they'll be able to play a full part in the second innings. We'll try and get you an update on that in between the 2 innings. But that is the Nepal batting card. Plenty of starts, Paresh, but with the exception of Gulshan Jazz, strike rate up towards 300. Nobody really doing it at a rate that will threaten the UAE.
Apart from the opening stand, apart from the power play, the first 6 overs, not getting those runs. This is the bowling card, Junaid Siddique. Every bowler, there were 6 bowlers used, each and every bowler getting a wicket apiece.
Yeah, 6 bowlers, every one of them having some success. For me, the pick of them though was Hyder Ali. Thought he was really impressive with his 1 for 22, and good use of Harshit Kaushik. And actually it was an excellently captained innings from Mohammad Waseem. We'll get a look at the best of the highlights, and the opening partnership worth 56 was probably Nepal's best period of that innings. Once the power play ended, the runs started to dry up. Asif Sheikh looked really good, hitting through the offside very comfortably and confidently, including a couple of flowing shots through his favoured extra cover region. That big 6 over long off to go with it. But then the fight back started to come, and it wasn't necessarily a fight back in terms of many wickets, as Kushal Patel got that one over the leg side. This was the LBW decision, the first one to fall, but they kept things really tight. And Asif Sheikh just went into a bit of a lull, couldn't get things going. That was the one that maybe could have been given as 6, but was given as 4. Rohit Paudel only found the one boundary, and you'd have to say that Nepal are shy of where they'd like to be.
Again, Asif Sheikh, after reaching his 50, trying to slug that ball, hitting the thigh and the ball running into the stumps. Paudel again getting out on 20s. This is the over where Gulshan smashed 4, 6 and a 4 before getting out in a full toss.
Yeah, that was the only double-digit over outside the power play. That went for 15. There was the 5th over that went for 12. Everything else was single digits. Disappointment for Ja was that both he and Mala fell inside 3 balls. And then a pretty limp finish as Jora and indeed Sampal Kami couldn't get anything going at the death. Don't go anywhere too far, because the UAE have run rather significantly over time bowling their overs. It means we'll only have a 10-minute turnaround. The restart time is in 8 minutes from now. We'll be off air for 5 minutes. Time to go find a cup of tea wherever you are in the world, or some kind of liquids. We're going to get some water in. It's very warm here in Muscat. Can UAE make it a perfect start to their Super 6 campaign? They'll need 141 to win. Find out live with us here on ICC TV.
Red Bull presents T20 World Cup qualifiers. Nepal ko Vishwa Cup Yatra, powered by Gyan Extra Long Grain Basmati Rice, Bajaj Pulsar and Gazab Ko Piro Noodles. Brought to you by
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
powered by
ज्ञान एक्स्ट्रा लङ ग्रेन बासमती राइसको 20 केजी को प्याकेटको खरिदमा पाउनुहोस् क्याशब्याक तुरुन्तै आफ्नो हेल्थी वालेटमा।
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
in association with NASA Securities, Nepal's largest stockbroker.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
अब होटल बुकिङ पनि यी सेवाबाटै।
Co-sponsored by
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड
पञ्चकन्या स्टिल। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
Movie partner Associate sponsors
सब ठीक ठाक।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
KFC Gold Edition, a taste like never before. The best of KFC, topped with melting cheese gold.
Skyworth Home Appliances.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
exclusively on Kantipur Max SD and our digital channels. An AD release initiative.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ। जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु।
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स। नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको पिरो चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो। अब 120 ग्राम 20% एक्स्ट्रा तौलसँगै
₹50 मा बजारमा सर्वत्र उपलब्ध छ। गजबको पिरो, बब्बाल पिरो छ।
यो डाक्टर नवीनको सधैँ नयाँ चमकदार देखिने घर, जसको सबै छिमेकीले गुनासो मात्रै गर्छ। कसैको नयाँ घर हेरेर घाँटी बाङ्गिएको गुनासो, सबै हैरान आए लिएर गुनासोको चाम।
छोरा जन्मिँदा घरमा एसियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन लगाएको त्यति नै हो।
यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर, वर्षौं वर्ष।
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला, तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ।
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT।
पंचकन्या स्टील, हरेक निर्माणको धडकन यूनाइटेड सीमेंट्स।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfy Stock Fantasy.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप, सब ठिकठाक।
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
स्वदेश तथा विदेशमा आर्जन गर्ने शिक्षाको सम्पूर्ण खर्चको जिम्मेवारी लिन्छ आइएमई लाइफ इन्सुरेन्सले।
आइएमई लाइफ बाल किरण जीवन बिमा योजना।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी।
पञ्चकन्या बाथवेयर, लग्जरी मेड अफोर्डेबल।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं। मुटु चाहिन्छ, मुटु।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको पिरो चाउचाउ, गजबको पिरो। अब 120 ग्राम 20% एक्स्ट्रा तौलसँगै ₹50 मा बजारमा सर्वत्र उपलब्ध छ। गजबको पिरो, बब्बाल पिरो छ।
हरेक निर्माणको धडकन यूनाइटेड सीमेंट्स।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfy Stock Fantasy.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
रेड बुल प्रेजेन्ट्स T20 वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स नेपालको विश्वकप यात्रा, पावर्ड बाय ज्ञान एक्स्ट्रा लङ रेन्ज बासमती राइस, बजाज पल्सर एन्ड गजबको पिरो नुडल्स।
Sultanate of Oman for this ICC Men's T20 World Cup Asia, East Asia Pacific. Joined qualifier the first. look at Gulshan Jaya again, the only one really to get the strike rate needle moving for Nepal, but he could only make 15. It's left of the cardiac kids, as they're often called.
See Dipen Singh at short extra cover. Rohit Bordell very quick across the turf,
cut away and straight to the man Kushal Malla, who does well, and even the dot balls are being cheered vociferously. Really good crowd starting to build up, people making their way in after work. It's just approaching 4:30 p.m. local time. We'll have a gorgeous Muscat sunset, I guarantee you that, as those shadows are lengthening across the surface already. And a really superb start of Maiden over. Look at how deep he is in the circle there, and they're still not taking him on. That would have been a single in the first innings. Raj Banshi starts with a maiden. They need 141 to win still. They'll have to do it now, Paresh, in 19 overs.
A maiden over to start off with by Lalit Rajbanshi. He's opened the bowling for Nepal frequently. Even in the one-day international, he's opened the bowling for Nepal. It's gonna be Sompal Kami from the media box end to share the new ball with Lalit Rajbanshi.
Kami's in general been pretty good. Mohammad Waseem will come on to strike now. Don't want to say Mohammad Waseem or bust, that's not fair on the UAE side, but he is a huge factor in any match that he plays, whether it's against India or Pakistan for UAE in the Asia Cup or against the fellow associates. He is that good a player. For me, he's one of the top 10 T20I batters in the world for any team, maybe the best associate T20I batter. And he's immediately beaten outside the off stump. Nepal get the wicket of Waseem, they will believe. If Waseem gets off to a flyer, UAE will have the game in hand.
That is what we always talk about. Mohammad Waseem, he was beaten outside the off. Some nice shape by Sompal Kami, back of the length. The ball moving away from the right-hander.
Still no Karen KC, his great friend. He's keeping him out of the team. The other primary seam bowling option will be Nandan Yadav. Clipped around the corner, the first runs will come. Good piece of fielding by Sandeep Lamachani, but Figgy gets through for the single to get Waseem off the mark, and the UAE's account underway. The other option though in terms of seamers would be Gulshan Jaya, who changed the game single-handedly against Japan, not just with the bat but with the ball.
And that is after not bowling in 6 or 7 matches. He took the wicket off the captain Fleming. He was going very good, 60 odd runs for him against Nepal. The sixes that he scored against Sandeep Lamachani was absolutely brilliant.
And Lamachani will have his role to play, of course, in this second innings. Little inside edge. Well, that could have gone anywhere. A lot happening out there, and pressure building up on Jonathan Figgy in particular on debut. He's none off 7.
He's very tentative, nerves getting into him. A big game, T20I debut. Jonathan Figgy, he's looking a bit restless in the middle.
Sharp movement back in. I don't think it's going to be a first international run for Jonathan Figgy, because it's going to be a leg by, so he moves to none off 8. Always have to thank Paul Radley of the National Newspaper for all of his focus and features on all of cricket across the Emirates, but I was speaking with him this afternoon, and he was explaining to me what a prodigious talent he was in terms of coming through the UAE school system, so much so that he earned himself a scholarship at the Winchester College, and then at the age of just 18 debuted in ODI cricket. Got him. Mohammad Wasim is gone, and just look at these celebrations. Bertel holds on to the catch. The fans are going wild, but Nepal's fielders are all in exuberant celebrations. They know how big that is. He's the record run scorer at this ground. He's gone for one.
It was a back of the lung delivery by Sompal Kani. Tried to pull that straight to Kushal Bhutel. Look at the celebration of Kami. He's really pumped up getting the big wicket of Mohammad Wasim. He has to depart for one.
Massive wicket, massive moment in the match. The skipper's gone. He looks down at the toe of the bats. Caught by Bertel for one. It's 2 for 1.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
हरेक लक्ष्यको आफ्नै कथा हुन्छ, जोशको, उत्साहको, मेहनतको। लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
Shot of any ball.
But I suppose my point here, Paresh, is that he's working against every force of that delivery, isn't he? The ball is shaping away. It's a bit fuller than a nice pullable length, and as a consequence, we know how well he plays into the leg side. It's just not the right option, and maybe that pressure built up by Figgy has paid on the captain. Sharafu's to the crease. They won't run one to Dipender Singh Airi, who picks up cleanly, but great news for the UAE. It looks like it was probably just a bruise of that shoulder as he landed on the rope. He's fit to bat. It's a wicket taking over for Kami, and UAE are in an early spot of bother, 2 for 1.
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
पुस्तो पुस्तालाई मायाले जोड्ने, जिन्दगीलाई अर्डिनेरीबाट एक्स्ट्रा अर्डिनेरी बनाउने सधैँ KFC।
With them. And didn't they celebrate stridently with that incredible moment. Big wicket. Dipender Singh Airi will replace Lalit Rajbanshi. Pressure comes on Jonathan Figgy. He just can't get anything away. None off 9 in a T20I.
Dipender Singh Airi, as usual, right on the money, right on the spot.
Scored a century in the ICC Under-19 World Cup, as he will finally get a T20I run to his name and probably breathe a deep sigh of relief. You can almost visibly see it, can't you, at the non-striker's end. He can catch up, and he's a very special young player, but he's just finding it difficult. It always is a step back up to international cricket.
He opens his account on the 10th ball that he's faced. 9 dot balls before this. Played a maiden over the first over. Bit of nerves for Jonathan Figgy.
Airi quietly has bowled exceptionally well, not just here, but in that Unity Cup against the West Indies, the series victory, that historic series win. Probably not quite getting the runs he would like at the moment, but his bowling and his fielding's better than it's ever been. He's a big part of this Nepal side.
Just trying to give himself room. Sharafu opens his account with a single down to long on. UAE under pressure because the big wicket of Wasim, the captain.
Down the track, that's a bit more like it for Figgy. Yeah, Airi looks in complete control of his bowling at the moment. Looks very happy with where his game is at, and he's very comfortable bowling the power play with just 2 fielders out. He can also bowl then at the death too.
That is the good point of Dipender Singh Airi. He can open the bowling, he can come in middle overs, he can ball in the death overs as well.
Chip towards long on. Fielder runs around, goes wide to his right, and I think it's going to go all the way. Dipender Singh Airi will have felt as though he was in the game. It was a slightly chancy stroke from Sharif, who came off the inside half of the bat, but he got enough of it to get 6.
Even though it came inside half of the bat, it was played away from the fielder at long on, wide long on, just over the boundary line. 6 to finish the third over. 9 runs coming off it. UAE are 11 for 1.
More like it from the UAE. They'll need to show intent in this power play. Yeah, make no mistake, this is not an over par score. We don't see anything in the surface. We didn't get any indication from Anoop, the head groundsman here, that he felt this would be anything but a pretty decent track. And for me, it's looked exactly that. It's looked like a good playing surface. I thought the UAE bowled and indeed fielded really, really well. But Nepal's strength in this series, Nepal's strength against the West Indies in that Unity Cup, their strength in recent times has been their fielding and their bowling. So if they're going to win this contest, it's going to be their performance now in the second innings that will do it for them. And there's plenty of quality in this Emirati batting lineup, even without Mohammad Razim, as a change of angle is going to take place for Cameo. Come around the wicket now. And nearly cleans up Jonathan Figgy, who continues to struggle.
The last ball he drove off Sompal Kami was a good, confident looking shot by Figgy. This time around he fishes outside the off stump. The ball missing the off stump, through to the keeper Asif Sheikh.
So nearly cleans him up. Figgy just can't get anything going. Lots of pressure building on the young man. Just tell you a little bit more about him. Yeah, went over to Winchester College, debuted in that ODI series just at the age of 18, went to South Africa for the Under-19 World Cup, made a century down there, the first ever UAE player to do so at any global ICC event. And then, well, he drifted away from the game, always had the passion for it, but went kind of out of favour in terms of selection in a difficult period for UAE. Maybe a wide down the leg side, and then it was the ILT20 development tournament where he was the highest scorer, 273 runs across it, that has kind of pushed him back into the international reckoning. It's probably fair to say that he's more of an ODI player than a T20 player, but he definitely deserves his chance back in. And with all the problems that UAE have in the ODI format, you'd imagine he's surely got to be given his chance there. Problem is here, needing 7 and over right from the off, you can't afford to be 3 off 14 unless you catch up.
He has to catch up. It shows that in the start he was pretty nervy, making a T20I debut for UAE.
Both him and Ethan D'Souza, who's a great friend of his from the Abu Dhabi Emirates. Another one that Figgy's missed out on and not given as a wide. Was there some contact with something there? 3 off 15 now.
He has to get a move on. The current rate is under 4 runs per over. The required is getting bigger, almost 8 now.
Final word from that Paul Radley piece 3 years ago. He was thinking of giving up cricket altogether through the pandemic. He'll be delighted that he's stuck with it, deserves his chance again. Nepal, though, are putting the squeeze on him. 3 off 16 for Figgy, 4 bowled, 14 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Super friendly. It's just a great place to come and watch cricket, and some pretty good local food to go with it as Nandan Yadav comes into the attack. You've enjoyed your time here so far. Your first trip to Muscat, Paresh?
Yes, I've enjoyed every bit of it. It seems like I'm back home with the hills surrounding the valley.
I think the hills are a bit bigger back in Nepal, aren't they? A little bit greener too, maybe?
Yeah, a bit of green in Nepal. These mountains are all boulder mountains, not muddy mountains.
Yeah, they're very pretty, particularly this time of day with the sun kind of casting those shadows. Leading edge. Irie goes towards it, can't get there. There was just a momentary hesitation between Dipender Singh Irie and Rohit Paudel. I think either of them maybe could have got there if they both had went wholeheartedly, but with the ball hanging in the air, they both had a look at each other and just held their momentum, and as a consequence it fell safely.
Coming down the track, Alison Sharafu land between the two fielders.
It's probably the only place that could have gone and fallen safely. Incredible moment of fortune, because if Irie can't get there with his pace, nobody's getting there. Back live now. Good stuff from Nandan Yadav though. His radar in the first couple of games, he bowled quite a few wides. Much better start from him today.
From the first ball of this over, Alison Sharafu is trying to get down the track, trying to hit Nandan Yadav over the top, over the bowler's head, but he's not been able to do so. Nandan Yadav, in the other hand, bowling very smartly, bowling behind the length, back of the length, and getting that leading edge which dropped in no man's land between the two fielders.
It could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? Could have looped up for the easiest of catches, but very fortuitously for Sharafu, fell safely. Down the track, it's a big blow. It's an almighty blow. I think that's definitely the biggest of the day, probably one of the biggest of the entire tournament. Plonks it up onto the roof of the pavilion, a dance down the track, and Sharafu, showing no ills from that shoulder injury, hits his second six.
It was a leg cutter bowled by Nandan Yadav, nicely picked away down to long on, wide long on that is, over the pavilion's room.
A lovely noise off the bat, wasn't there? Don't have the stump mics in place, you won't quite have heard it as clearly at home, but a real beautiful ping. Tries to repeat the dose but goes down the ground instead. Good batting, dancing and attacking Nandan Yadav. Back-to-back boundaries, 6 and now 4.
This is batting with intent. Coming again down the track, hitting it straight towards the side screen. Ball rolling off the carpet. 6 and a 4. A good looking over, turning out to be a good looking over for UAE.
Amazing the small margins, isn't it? That leading edge could have popped up, he could have been gone for 8, but instead he's decided to stop being tentative and start to attack. Pressure now on the young fast bowler. Looks for the short ball, which will just be pulled away for the single. So it's 11 runs from the 5th over, and crucially Sharafu will keep the strike. Much more like it for UAE coming into the contest now in the chase. It's 25 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
IME Life बालकिरण जीवन बीमा
Panchakanya Bathware. Luxury made affordable.
Just peak past, or peak up to 5 o'clock local time. At 1:45 right now. Sun tends to set around 5:30, 5:45. Lalit Rajbanshi has bowled a maiden from his first over. He'll have a change of ends. Be interesting to see if Sharafu continues to attack in this 6th and final over of the power play. Only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle still. Long off and deep backward square out. Big ring of 4 fielders on the offside, led by Dipender Singh Airi, who fielded that one at cover. Sharafu is the big wicket, the next most prized wicket now. Again, can't find the gap and straight to the fielder. You can sense he really wants to go at it this over, Paresh.
Giving himself room, Sharafu wants to pierce the offside field. There's no fielder outside the 30-yard circle in the offside square of the wicket. Decides to stop. I think he missed his mark. Again, 2 dot balls in the first 2 balls. Nepal, they have to pick up wickets in regular intervals. Pulled away down to mid wicket, a boundary. Good looking shot by Sharafu.
It's great intent, and he's somewhat sparing Jonathan Figge's blushes because he's managed to sort of hog the strike over the last couple of overs and play really aggressively. Not the greatest delivery from Rajbanshi. Rarely bowls 2 bad ones in a row. Sharafu getting into his work, 23 off just 14. They will not take on Dipender Singh Airi. We've seen that trending all over social media, haven't we? There's 2 rules with regards to playing against Nepal. Don't run a single to Dipender Singh Airi. Number 2, listen to the first rule. Down the leg side, and a miss stop from Asif Sheikh is going to cost 5. That should be given as 5 wides, and indeed is. Maybe a bit lethargic and tired from his batting effort. Not the right line from Rajbanshi. 5 free runs to the total.
Straying down the leg side, the ball going between the feet of Asif Sheikh, couldn't stop the ball. Bonus runs for UAE. Already 9 runs of this, a good big back-to-back overs for UAE. The last one bowled by Nanan Yadav, and now Lalit Rajbanshi. The first over that he bowled was a maiden.
Back on the money this time, but a costly 5 wides. Those 5. UAE not ahead in the chase, but definitely coming back into it. And because it's only 141 that they chase, the required run rate is very manageable at 7.5 runs per over. Lamachani's 4 overs are going to be 4 big ones. As he goes down, over long off and hits it for 6. The final ball of the power play will maybe edge that power play towards the UAE. Rajbanshi's over goes for 15. It's 40 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
प्राइम बिलेटबाट बनेको हरेक निर्माणको मेरुदण्ड पञ्चकन्या 500 XT र 550 XT पञ्चकन्या स्टिल
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ.
And Figgy goes downtown and he finally gets in the act. He gets a boundary. Mid-off was up in the circle, slightly full from Ja, and Figgy cashes in.
Confident looking shot by Figgy. Hits it with a straight bat. The mid-off fielder was inside the circle.
Interesting bowling change this one. So often it's either Lamachani or a spinner that will bowl the 7th with the fielding restrictions kicking in, but or field restrictions being eased even. 5 fielders allowed on the rope now. But because Jha was so good against Japan, they've gone with him. UAE starting to look very comfortable and confident in this chase.
Especially Alishan Sharafo, he's 29 of 17, whereas Figgy with that boundary moves to 8 of 18 deliveries. Even though Figgy hasn't done justice to his strike rate, Sharafo has played very well, coming down the track to the fast bowlers.
Worked into the leg side, should just be the single as Sharafu just pulls up a little timidly towards the end of that run, adding a lower leg problem to the shoulder that he's probably continuing to feel. Reminder that we're not certain whether or not Basil Hamid is going to be able to bat, so that could be a factor in this second innings. But Nepal are going to have to bowl well to even find out whether or not that's the case. I would imagine that Lamachani is chomping at the bit to get into the game. You would expect him to probably bowl from the media centre end, not where Jha's bowling from now because of the bigger leg side boundary for the right-handers today. And is it a case of waiting for Figgy to be dismissed to turn to their wrist spinner?
So actually it doesn't matter if there's a left-hander at the crease. He's a class act, Sandeep Lamachani. He can bowl to both right-handers and the left-handers.
It is a factor though. We've seen those 2 sixes into the leg side, both exploited that shorter boundary up towards the pavilion from Sharafu, so that's maybe one of the factors as to why Jha has been called upon from this end. Good delivery from Jha, and does well off his own bowling to keep it to a dot ball.
7 runs of this over so far. Alishan Sharafu, the luck that he needed. It was a top edge, the leading edge that dropped into no man's land between the 2 fielders, Rohit Pordal and Dipender Singh Airi.
Yeah, right on the money again. Don't think they'll get a second. Again, Sharafu pulls up quite quickly at the non-strikers, and he doesn't look 100% comfortable or happy with where his body is at. Thuds the pad in frustration. 8 overs come from Jha's first. It's 48 for 1.
हर एक निर्माण को धड़कन यूनाइटेड सीमेंट्स.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ.
स्पेशल सेलिब्रेशन्सलाई झन्नै स्पेशल बनाउने सधैँ केएफसी.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला. यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह.
He's had kind of a tale of 2 halves to his 2 bowling spells so far. 2 overs, none for 19 and none for 20 in the first half of his first 2 games, and then he's fought back really well, picking up wickets and keeping things tight in his 3rd and 4th overs. He would love to start well here, mix up, and they don't take on Lalit Rajbanshi. I don't think Sharafu's running particularly well between the wickets there. You can almost see him limping, and with the Tiger prowling in there at cover as well, we're just going to change the fielder. Rajbanshi will be taken out a point. They got Gulshan Jha in there for a bit more movement. Don't rule out a run out at some point. We've already seen 2 spectacular direct hits from Irie. Oh, and a great diving stop is going to save a single. It's Irie again. He's always in the game.
Even if there's an overthrow chance, they don't run in front of Irie.
Incredible, isn't it? He didn't collect that cleanly and still was able to prevent the single. Big matchup this one, Lamachani to Sharafu. You just sense that both cricketers have no shortage of confidence. They have a bit of swagger to the way in which they play their cricket, and they'll kind of want to take each other on, the leg spinner and the right-hander.
That is what Sharafu is thinking. He wants to play Sandeep Lamichhane over extra cover. That is what we saw. The two balls that he faced earlier.
Googly immediately and helped into the leg side, but just one bounce to Sampal Kami, shorter side of the ground there. Kendall Fleming, the Japan captain, took a real liking to Lamichhane, and he's got a few questions with his bowling to the left-handers of late.
He just gave a bit of air to Fleming. That is why he was struck down the ground a couple of times.
50 comes up. This has helped miles over the offside. That's an almighty strike. He is a class act, Dalashan Sharafu. Always been thought of as, well, the most prodigious of young talents to come through that Emirati system. Their former under-19s captain. Well, he wins part one of that battle with Lamichhane.
It was hit on the up, giving himself room. Hitting it over extra cover.
Superb strike. Here's the googly. You knew it was coming after the leg break was smashed down the ground for 6, and Sharafu read it very well indeed. He's dominated this partnership. He moves to 39. It's 57 for 1.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
Asian Paints Ultima Protect Shine. यसमा भएको UV हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम, पानी, धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार, शाइनदार घर, वर्षौं वर्ष।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
It's going to be Gulshan Jah.
Now Sharafu wants 2, and he feels as though he can get it because it's perfectly weighted, and he's judged it well enough despite the slight stumble after he completes the second. Been in the wars today, Sharafu, isn't he? But he moves into the 40s and he's playing a fine innings here. UAE controlling this chase.
Coming down the track, playing with soft hands into the gap. There's a big gap between the fielders there. Rohit Paudel had to come from the boundary line. That is why they were able to take 2 runs.
Good diving stop from Rajbanshi. Won't stop the single, but does enough to stop the boundary. Nepal's bowling just looks a little toothless all of a sudden, and it's giving every indication to exactly what we said, that we feel this is a good batting surface. Nepal were well shy with 140 of where they could and maybe should have got to if they'd batted with a bit more intent.
It all started in the middle overs for Nepal. The opening partnership was good. They were going around 8.5 runs per over.
Chipped in the air and chipped shy of long on. They probably haven't done a particularly good job of keeping Figgy on strike either. Sharafu has faced the majority of the last 4 overs, which is why the chase has started to accelerate. 80 off 69, 9 wickets in hand, even if there's an injury to Basil Hamid. Well, it's all stacking heavily in favour of the UAE right now.
On the other hand, Nepal will have to take wickets. They cannot just restrict UAE. They have to take wickets.
Problem with the field here as well is, you can see with that shot, fine leg is in the circle on the leg side. All the other 3 fielders, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backward square, are out. There is a single every ball if they want it, and there's sometimes a 2 on offer with very little risk.
Yeah, because the fielders are way in the boundary line. There are big boundaries here. What they can do is just play with soft hands, take 2s. You don't have to take any risk.
Off cutter, pulled to the deep, will be a single, and the required run rate has come down from the peak of well over 8 and over at points of this chase. It's less than 7 and over needed. Nepal have to change something here, and they're going to have to maybe take some risk. Rohit Paudel has thinking to do. Where's he going to turn? Does he try to get Kushal Bertel into the game, who probably hasn't had the best 2 games with the ball?
His strike rate is pretty good in T20Is, Kushal Bertel. He has the second best strike rate in T20 ice.
Yeah, just Kuldeep Yadav takes wickets quicker than him, remarkably. Better line. Prefer that line, and Cammy can't quite cut it off. They still will get the single. The most comfortable of 7 runs that they require from the over, guided around by the UAE. This partnership's been a very good one. They're in cruise control at the moment. It's 64 for 1.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ।
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
Lamachani will continue. Big over this one. Starts with a leg break. You sense if Nepal don't get a second wicket before the drinks break here, UAE will be very satisfied with the first half of this chase.
They will be very pleased. Even though Mohammad Wasim got out cheaply, Sharafu has done what Mohammad Wasim would have done.
Inside edge, could have gone anywhere. Misfortune for Lamachani, that's going to cost a boundary despite the diving efforts. Sharafu very lucky here. Was looking to probably go into the offside, I think. Has tied himself in a tangle in knots and, well, just flays the bat at it and somehow gets a boundary.
That was a googly ball by Lamachani. The ball hitting the inside edge, running down fine towards the final boundary. Sharafu moves to 48 of just 31 deliveries. Again, Sandeep Lamachani into the expensive side.
Googly again trying to wrap that front pad, but with the boundary early in the over, UAE will just be happy to nudge it around. Floodlights have just come on for the first time.
Sharafu looks a bit itchy out there. He's struggling with his leg, calf or hamstring.
Goes with the googly, and Lamachani does well off his own bowling. It's a run saved. Nepal fans are just appearing very nervous, the ones that we can hear in the crowd. 9 wickets in hand, halfway to where they require to be at the halfway stage, UAE. They have this game in complete control. Big swing and a miss though, doesn't pick the googly.
Nepal were also in a similar situation at the end of the first 10 overs. And they completely lost it after that. A very good bowling. Credit goes to the UAE bowlers, the way they bowled, the way they fielded in the first innings.
Promise you there'll be another twister turn, Paresh. As Figgy gets a good piece of it. He's going to get a maximum. Didn't look like he struck it perfectly at first, and Lamachani's frustrated. But Figgy's 12 off 24 will jump off to 18 off 25. 11 from the over. Nepal are looking really concerned as to how they're going to get themselves back into this contest. And it's the UAE again here in Muscat that are seeing the best of this Associate El Clasico, dominating the contest. 75 for 1 the score. And if the floodlights come on, we'll have a break here at the halfway stage of this first innings. Nepal are left with it all to do. UAE going so well thanks to this second wicket partnership. They are 75 for 1.
Full presents T20 World Cup qualifiers Nepal ko Biswa Cup Yatra powered by Gyan Extra Long Grain Basmati Rice, Bajaj Pulsar and Gazab Ko Piro Noodles.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ।
एशियन पेन्ट्स अल्टिमा प्रोटेक्ट शाइन। यसमा भएको युभी हाइब्रिड टेक्नोलोजीले घाम पानी धुलोबाट दिन्छ वर्षौं वर्ष सुरक्षा। घर रहन्छ सधैँ शाइनदार घर वर्षौं वर्ष।
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह। हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स। यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनुहोला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
MIT, an internationally recognized degree, Bagbazar, Kathmandu.
बेबे यो चीज बल लगौँ न है।
हे यो चीज बल छैन 2 PM चीज बल्स हो के
यो भन्नुभयो के उहाँले 2 PM cheese balls.
You see those floodlights into full effect there. They leave themselves in a precarious position. Slip up again, and you're relying upon net run rate most likely, with a maximum then of 3 wins. And both of these two sides will still have to play Oman. Remember, the hosts who are sitting pretty at the top of the table, having played 2 and 1-2. So it's not going to be spin. You're not wanting to bowl the spinners much from this Oman LNG end of the ground, as Nandan Yadav will come in for his second over. Alishan Sharifu has been really impressive, hasn't he? Just at that one moment of fortune, Paresh, with the leading edge that fell agonisingly out of reach. If they don't get him out shortly, Nepal, your Nepal team, they're going to be surely going down to a defeat here. UAE in full control.
Yes, UAE in full control, 75 for 1 in the 11th over. 66 more required of 59. That's easily gettable. You have 9 wickets in hand. Just that Nepal, they have to take wickets now, especially Alishan Sharifu's wicket.
Well, that's going to be 50 and a brilliant way to bring it up. Just a check pull shot that goes all the way for 6. It's come in sparkling style, 34 deliveries. It's a 12th career 50 from just 55 innings for Alishan Sharifu, his second against Nepal, and he has played, well, a gem of a knock.
It was just a short arm jab onto the leg side, down to long leg, which resulted in 6. And brings his 50 as well, 53 of 34 with 5 sixes and 3 fours.
And that's the big difference. 8 boundaries in total across that entire Nepal innings. They only hit 9 fours and 4 sixes. Sharifu nearly matching that himself as a run-out chance comes, and it would have been gone. Sampal Kami did everything right. Picked up quickly, got the throw in effectively, probably had 2 stumps or about that angle to aim at, and I think Sharifu gave it up.
This is a golden opportunity missed by Nepal. Sampal Kami getting the ball very quickly and releasing it. They were nowhere to be seen, Sharifu.
Crazy piece of cricket. He didn't even dive to get back in. He just stood there watching the ball. Direct hit would have been gone and would have changed the game. For the second time, Sharifu has a bit of fortune. But the UAE are dominating this contest right now. What can Nepal find? Run out chance again, but Jora just not quite as quick as others in the ring. To show you the side on of that run out chance, to show you that I think it would have been out by, well, 2 yards, because Sharifu gave it up.
Trying to guide that down to third man.
Really strange he doesn't put in a dive there.
I think because of the shoulder injury
Yeah,
that he
possibly.
possesses.
Good shout, actually. Bit of self-preservation, just preserving the body. Now, can Nepal build a bit of pressure on Figgy? beats the outside edge. Good length. That's the first time we've seen that length hit by Nandan Yadav. More like it. Nepal been a bit off with the ball for you?
Yeah, they've been a bit off. Again, Sandeep Lamichhane getting hit for 20 runs off his 2 overs. That is what he was hit earlier in the group stages. 19 against Kuwait and 20 against Japan in his first 2 overs.
Yeah, it's good point actually, that Paresh. All 3 games now. First 2 overs have gone around the park. Now he's fought back wonderfully well as Figgy declines the second, and rightly so, because it's Dipender Singh with the ball. I think UAE have probably watched those first 2 games and they know their opposition well. They're just not taking any risks when he's about. Here's the moment for 50 for Sharafu. It's been such a good knock, hasn't it? And the difference with the Asif Sheikh innings, as he celebrates and lifts his bat towards his teammates, the ball striking and the strike rate significantly better, and actually
हरेक निर्माणको धड्कन युनाइटेड सिमेन्ट्स
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ।
Panchakanya Bathware.
I really do. Can he find a moment of magic? It's really been him and Gulshan Jha who kind of have been spearheading, and Kushal Bertel, those moments of brilliance for Nepal. They need something, and they've got it. It had to be Dipender Singh into the game, into the attack and into the wickets. He ends Figgy's rather tortured stay at the crease. Good glove work from Asif Sheikh. You sensed it was coming, and it's the Tiger again who impacts the game, not in the field this time but with the ball. Gives Nepal something to work with.
It was a flatter delivery. The batter coming down the wicket, trying to hit that ball, completely missed it, and a smart glove work by Asif Sheikh. Quick one as well.
Perplexing shot to try and use your feet to a man who is so flat. Does get a big pat in the back. Remember, he played a big role in that partnership, but it wasn't necessary.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
साउजी
नयाँ चीज बल साखो छ, चाख्ने हैन?
यो चीज बल हैन, 2 PM चीज बल दिन न साउजी।
This one?
Yes.
Take it. 2 PM cheese balls.
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला। यति कार्पेट, कार्पेटको शहंशाह।
It's Rahul Chopra, the wicket-keeper batsman from UAE, the one-day international captain for UAE.
Now Chopra historically can start a bit slowly. Can they pile up a few dots, build up a bit of pressure that would then, as a consequence, leverage further pressure on Sharafu? Chopra's not the big wicket, Sharafu is. But dots to Chopra, which can be easy to come by at the start of his innings, could just find a way to force Sharafu into a stray shot. Good change of bowling this to get Dipender Singh into the attack. And finally, there's a single from the over.
The first over of Nepal's innings was a maiden, if you remember that. A maiden played by Figgy against Lalit Rajbangshi.
Feels a long time ago, that. Amazing how that second wicket partnership changed the game. It's a really good over. They won't even think about the second because Sharafu will want the strike. 2 runs come from it. The Tiger at it again for Nepal in this format. Such a good T20 cricketer, one of the best in the world. 12 have been bowled, 85 for 2.
लक्ष्य अनेक, एनर्जी एक। एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल।
स्वदेश तथा विदेशमा आर्जन गर्ने शिक्षाको सम्पूर्ण खर्चको जिम्मेवारी लिन्छ आइएमई लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्सले।
आइएमई लाइफ बाल किरण जीवन बीमा योजना।
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन। आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक।
To Gulshan Jah. Again, they're not even considering when the ball goes anywhere in the proximity of Irie. Neither batter really leaves their area. So that's good game awareness from the UAE. This is I'm going to make a rogue call here, Paresh. I think I might have bowled Kushal Bertel here. Big risk or reward call. I think Sharafu would have targeted the pavilion, targeted the shorter side. Bertel just has that knack, doesn't he, of getting wickets. This is a slightly more defensive play going with Jah.
Again, coming down the track, slapping that ball down to the offside. Yeah, you have to take risks to take wickets.
But I think the only way you win this game if you're Nepal is by getting Sharafu out in the next over or two. If he's still there in the 16th, 17th, the UAE, with the rate at which he's scoring, should canter home. Nothing ever seems to happen simply between these two sides. It's always a very closely fought contest, but for Nepal you have to take a risk to find a wicket here. I just think that Bertel X factor, okay, he could get it for 2 sixes and the game could swing further towards the UAE, but 55 off 46 is a very manageable rate with 8 wickets in hand.
You have to take chances. You have to bring your bowler whose strike rate is pretty good, second in the world in T20Is.
Oh, beauty. That one just came off the surface. First one we've really seen move laterally, possibly hit the seam, chops Chopra in half.
I think that was an off cutter. That is why the ball moved into the right hand. We saw that Ali bowling an off cutter and getting rid of Kushal Malla in the first innings.
Do you feel as though he rolled his fingers over that one? Yeah,
yes,
good
he
shout.
did.
Big moments in the match here. Nepal have to capitalise upon this slow start from Chopra. Swung away into the leg side. Kushal Malla will have work to do and does it pretty effectively. 2 runs saved using the reverse hand style very well. Gets warm applause from Gulshan Jah. That's good fielding.
Kushal Malla doesn't look like that he's quick, but he is really quick in the boundary line.
Yeah, he's kind of, he almost looks a bit lackadaisical, but he's not. It's just his manner. It's his kind of little Viv Richards swagger that he has. Now, deep mid-wicket goes out as protection. And fine leg comes up into the circle. Again, straight to Irie. How many runs does Dipendra Singh Irie save on average in a T20? It's hard to get across if you're not here.
It's pretty hard to save so many runs that he's saved till now. In his 80 odd T20 internationals, he's the highest number of, he has the highest number of matches for Nepal in the T20Is.
Played more than anyone else. And sometimes, even though he's a real fan favourite, some fans get frustrated with his lack of scoring with the bats. Again, another single save. Good dots from Gulshan Jah in that over. 4 of them, 3 from the over, 88 for 2. He's somebody that whatever form he's in, because of how good his fielding is, and then he'll always give you a couple of overs with the ball. He's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet for Nepal.
He is, apart from Rohit Bordel, who's the captain of the side.
सही खोजौं, शुद्ध रोजौं, मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु.
नेपालमा सर्वाधिक रुचाइएको चाउचाउ गजबको पिरो बब्बाल पिरो छ.
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
MIT, an internationally recognized degree. Bagh Bazaar, Kathmandu.
Bebe, यो चीज बहुत लगम ना है.
हैं? यो चीज
Sharafu he has. It's Dipendra Singh Irie, and off he goes. The trademark high five into the sky celebration comes. He's a 3-dimensional cricketer. He's impacting the game. He's got the big wicket of Sharafu. Are Nepal finding a way back into this contest?
We didn't see the cartwheel or the jump from Dipender Singh Aire, but what we saw was Sharafu was so frustrated that he hit the stumps with his bat.
Oh, I missed that. I was watching Irie sprinting off in celebration, expecting the cartwheel. He will find himself in trouble with the ICC match referee, Mr. Ken Tanham. That's going to be a level 1 minimum, I would expect. Let's see if we can get a replay of that. Just stay with the batter here if we can. Clever piece of bowling, just skids in. And yes, let's have a look here if we can roll this replay through. Big trouble. You cannot do that, Alishan Sharafu. I'm sorry, I was watching Irie. I thought we were going to get the tumbling cartwheel out again. Instead, we got the trademark high fives with Rohit Paudel. It doesn't take away, though, from how well Alishan Sharafu played. It was an outstanding innings. It's put the UAE in a very strong position. He's gone for 58, though, off 40 deliveries. 8 boundaries altogether in there. And it's 88 for 3.
That was bowled a bit slow through the air and skidded on to hit the stumps. Very frustrated, Sharafu.
You're always going to be frustrated. You just can't do that. And umpire Muckle has seen it. I have no doubt that Ken Tanham will have seen it. And it's just I suppose a slightly poor moment there. We'll let the code of conduct deal with that as Harshit Kaushik comes to the crease. The left-hander. Again, another opportunity here. Someone who can start slowly for Nepal just to bowl a few dots. And the Nepal fans have really come to life. We have now twice described a sensation of Irie impacting the game. And both times it's brought about a wicket. It's incredible. You can just sense it with him. He's such a fascinating character to watch play cricket.
He can do it in the field. He can do it with the ball.
Are you surprised? I know he's had a few opportunities. He was at the ILT20, but I don't think he played at all for the Gulf Giants. Did well out at the GT20 where he was playing with Carlos Brathwaite. Affected that ludicrous run out off his own bowling. Are you surprised he hasn't had more opportunities around the world?
Yeah, pretty much surprised. He hasn't got that opportunity that he should get. He's such a quick. He must be the best in the world.
Oh, now where's this one gone? Under edge. I'm going to dash a single. I just think even in terms of bringing him into a squad, you could actually put Dipender Singh Aire into an IPL squad, not play a single game, and he'd raise the standards of the fielding in that group. He's that brilliant to watch. I know we wax lyrical about him, but when you're at the ground here, you see things you sometimes can't see at home. And it's just the impact he has around the field. Lifts all the standards. And it's an excellent over. Just 3 runs have come from it. And the big wicket. Are we witnessing a game that's going to go to the 40th and final all of a sudden? It's 50 exactly to win from the final 6. The UAE is still in control, but Nepal have some hope with that wicket of Sharafu. It's 91 for 3.
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी 1 एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ
Panchakanya bathware, luxury made affordable.
That could be a big factor. Now Lamachani is 2 left. Still no sign of a Kushal Malla or a Kushal Bertel with the ball. But they're going to continue with Gulshan Jah, who's been wicketless but pretty consistent. Just 6 runs and over he's going for. Can he find the 4th wicket? Picked up into the leg side. There's a fielder there who holds on. He will find the 4th wicket. Gulshan Jah has had a sensational tournament. That's an excellent catch from Nandan Yadav. He judged that very well. Strange shot from Harshit Kaushik. He only sort of pulled it, and I've no idea how. The cardiac kids are at it again, turning it around, raising the pulses and changing this contest.
A good shot ball by Gulshan Jah. And a terrific catch by Nandan Yadav in the deep. He jumped then to perfection. Really excited Nandan Yadav.
Incredible swing in the game in the course of a couple of overs. This is why we love associate cricket, particularly the Associate El Clasico. Kaushik's gone for 2.
नेपाल टपको विकल्प छैन आजको जमानाको भरपर्दो पाइप नेपाल टप सब ठिकठाक
लक्ष्य अनेक एनर्जी एक एनर्जी भनेकै रेड बुल
बेबे यो चिज बल लगाउँ न है
हे यो चिज बल छैन 2 PM चिज बल हो के
यो भन्नुभयो के उहाँले 2 PM चिज बल्स यति कार्पेट किन्दा कार्पेटको पछाडि यतिको लोगो हेर्न नबिर्सिनु होला यति कार्पेट कार्पेटको शहंशाह
I want to come into the attack and get into this contest. What a brilliant game of cricket, Paresh. Nepal have no right to be even anywhere within the compass of winning it. But now it probably hangs in the balance. It's a 50-50 from here, you'd imagine.
Exactly, it's 50-50 between UAE and Nepal. Gulshan Shah taking a wicket in this over.
Yeah, guided into the offside. Parashar gets off the mark. He's a very effective batter. I know they'll have concern over Hamid, who, remember, in one of those revenge wins, that was the final of the Dabur Honey Tri-Series. He was the one that iced the chase with that 6 in the final over. So he has good finishing skills if he can get the shoulder moving properly. I just feel it's going to the 20th and final over again.
It is exactly going till the end.
Probably should have just made that one prediction earlier, shouldn't we? We don't know who's going to win, but we think it'll go all the way. It certainly looks like it's going to be accurate. Just the single worked into the leg side. They won't be able to get back for the second. Ja does the fielding and has help from Jura. Have you been able to put your finger on a little bit like the performance against Japan, why Nepal seem to have had a lull with the ball in the first half and then come back strongly in the second?
That is what we've seen in the group stages as well, against not only against Kuwait but against Japan. They were 90 odd for 1 in the 11th over. Japan
97, weren't they? 97 for 1 and cruising along. The captain playing